All right, everyone. Good evening and welcome. It is Friday night. It is 7 p.m. and it is time for another live stream. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope you guys had a good week. How's everyone's new year going so far? Hopefully that is going well for everyone. As most of you know, I am just getting back from a short little 4-day cruise, and that is going to be our topic for this week's stream. And I've got a whole bunch of pictures to share with you guys. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into our topic for this week. I'll say this evening, this week, same thing. But anyway, let's see. Let me pull up the pictures here. Mark, good year so far. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Okay. So here we are. Let's do it this way. So anyway, it was a 4-day cruise on the Carnival Valor, and we left out of New Orleans, Louisiana, went down to Cozumel, Mexico, and back. Did a little excursion while we were in Cozumel for the day, and I'll be discussing that tonight as well. Before the stream is over, though, I'm going to run a little poll, and you guys are going to pick what the video is going to be next week. You have two options. There are several sunset videos. It will be the sunset videos in each successive order, or there will be the ship tour where I recorded a boatload of content on the ship, pun intended. So yeah, towards the end of the stream, I'm going to throw that poll up and you guys can vote on what is going to be the video for next week. Ozzy says, where is the potato room? It's somewhere on the ship, Ozzy. That's all I can tell you. So anyway, oh goodness. Excuse me. Oh. Coming out of the gate right out of that with a yawn. Anyway, let's get started on our topic for this evening. So this is the very first picture. As you can see, this is the Carnival Valor. I am on deck 11 right here, and this is the what they call Serenity on the Carnival ships, which Serenity is the adults only area of the ship. On the Spirit, and I'll be mentioning the Carnival Spirit a lot because that was the last cruise I was on. Serenity was on the stern, whereas it on the Valor, it's on the bow. And I think I preferred Serenity on the stern. It felt like it was a much better setup. It was a more open area. They had a bar right there, a much bigger bar than what there is on the Valor, despite Spirit being a smaller ship. I know. I just like the layout on Spirit was better as far as that part of the ship goes. But we're starboard, and we are still at port in this photo. You can see the New Orleans skyline to the left of the whale's tail. Oh, Anna made it. Welcome, Anna. You're just in time. We're just getting underway, so to speak. AAT Titanic has set sail. And let's go to our next photo. So there's the everybody's up on deck, getting ready for the the sail away party, and you can see it's pretty crowded. This area down here, that is deck 9, and that is called the Lido deck. Over here to the left on deck 9 is where the burger joint is. And over here, you can't see it on the same deck, you have the Mexican food joint. And that's the same as on Spirit. You have a bar here and then a bar on the opposite side as well. Love the smoke coming out of the funnels. And really, it never gets much thicker than that, to be honest with you. So let's see. Let's move on. Ah, there's my ugly mug, and we're setting sail. We're in the process of turning around in the Mississippi River, because you can see the whale's tail is now, and the stern are now facing the dock, whereas we were facing the starboard side before we departed. So yeah, the ship is turning around in this photo. And here we are. We're going down river now. We're in the middle of the river. You can see the piers right here. If you look over here in this corner, there's one of the paddle boats, the Creole Queen, which I have not ridden on the Creole Queen. I have only been on the Natchez, which I believe is in one of these photos coming up. Yep. So again, here we are going down river, and you can see the bridge behind us, the dual bridges. That is called they call it the CCC, the Crescent City Connection. On this side of the river is New Orleans. On this side is Gretna or Algiers. I think it's Algiers. Well, they're both on that side of the river. I forget which one directly connects with the bridge, though. And here we are. We made our first big bend in the river, and there is a paddle boat right here. And I am fairly certain that is the Natchez right there. You guys are going to see a short in the coming weeks where we're going down river, and as we're passing the Natchez, the Valor is blowing the horn at the Natchez, and the Natchez replies with a few toots of its own horn. Now let's see. This is just a little further away from the river. I want to highlight that. Anna says it seemed like it took forever to get out of the Mississippi River on my cruise. Anna, as far as I'm aware, it takes getting back in the river, it takes I believe 8 hours to get back when you're getting back into the mouth of the river, going back into New Orleans. It's 8 hours going or 8 hours back. It's going to go faster when you're going out of the river, because the mighty Mississippi there's mighty for a reason. The Mississippi pulls or pushes you out of the river a lot faster than what you can go do going upriver. In fact, when Kidd was going to dry dock almost 2 years ago now, they made 11 point something knots going down river. So Kidd has the record for being the fastest museum ship of any museum ship, as a museum ship, that is. Now, that won't be the case when Kidd is coming back up the river, because they're going to be fighting the current. They'll be lucky if they get like 3-4 knots. They'd be doing great if they get that going back upriver. Yeah, so it didn't seem like it took forever. It did take forever. Yeah. So and just to drive the point home, um, we did not reach the mouth of the river before sunset. It was nighttime before we got out of the river. Is the river at low tide or high tide or going out? I'm not sure what time that happens, Ozzy. To be honest with you, I would have to look it up. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, there's the back of the whale's tail. It was dark for me too. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You're never gonna get out of the river before nighttime because it just because the river it just snakes and snakes and snakes all the way down to the mouth. So you're constantly turning, you're adjusting speed, blah blah blah. So it's something that's just not going to happen. Here's a front view of the whale's tail. Now back here, you see this mesh net. There's a mesh netting right here. That is, I believe, where they were playing like basketball and stuff like that. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, it was mostly kids in that area, and I believe that's what they were doing, if memory serves. And behind the whale's tail, there was like a putt putt, a mini golf thing, like a putt putt golf. And here's dinner in the restaurant on the first night. Now, one thing I don't know why Carnival does this because the Spirit was the same way, so I'm going to assume it's the same way on all the Carnival ships. The main restaurant is always towards the bottom of the ship in the stern. So you feel, I don't know if it's the engines or the screws that you're feeling or the props, whatever, whichever one you use to call them, but you definitely feel the vibration from the ship while you're eating dinner. So yeah, this was dinner the first night in the restaurant. And I don't remember what that dish was. I know the meat in it was lamb, but yeah, I don't remember what it was called, but it was actually decent. This was not a bad meal at all. Yeah, Mark, I think it is the props as well. Ah, yes. Uh, the Ivanhoe Theater. Now, this is all the way at the bow of the ship on the lower decks, and that's where the live theatrical performances are on this ship. And the same was true for the Spirit, but it was called like the Pharaoh Theater or something. So each one has like a different design or theme. On this one, there were a lot like knights, like old medieval type stuff, decorating this whole uh, theater. And of course, I'm representing with the kid right there. And here we are. Here's the ship at night. And again, we are still in the river at this point. A little chilly out, so you can see there's not a lot of people out, but now you get a better view of what's going on in the back. You can see there's the burger joint I was telling you guys about right here. And if we move over to the right, or actually the port side, you can see like there's like the Mexican restaurant right there. And if we move over to the left here, there's the bar that I was telling you guys about. And then there's the other one over here that you can barely see. The dining room that was used for autographs, photo ops, and the fancy dinner I had was at the stern. Anna, did you also sail on a Carnival ship for your cruise? And of course, excuse me, whale's tail, aka funnel, all nice and lit up at night. Still in the river, by the way. Norwegian Pearl. Okay. Cheeseburger, no Coke, one. So actually, for the sodas, until last year, Carnival was using Pepsi product. They switched, and it is now all Coke product on the ship, well, all their ships. Here's another view of the Ivanhoe Theater. And you can see there's the stage right there. And see what I'm talking about? Look at the shields up here in the corner. And you see a little cross right here, like medieval paintings on the wall right there. And let's see. Yes. Now, I don't remember when I took this exactly, but well, this would have definitely been the next day. So the way it was, day 2, because technically departure day counts as day 1. So day 2 was a full day at sea, and you can see here we are right here in the middle of the Gulf. Day 3 was the what you call it was the day for the excursion, the day we got to Cozumel. Day 4 was another day at sea, returning home. Let's see, Curtis D. Hart. Let's see. Set dining, early and late are aft. Your time dining room is mid. Yeah, there is another dining room on that ship. I don't remember there being 2 dining rooms on the Spirit, but the Valor had one. And when you guys see the video of the ship tour, you will see the that other dining room. Okay, so this is something I always like to check out. This was on this ship. This was on deck 5. You get all your stats of like where the ship is. So if we zoom in, you can see here's the ship right here in the middle of the Gulf. There's our departure. That's our destination. And at the time, we were sailing at 16.7 knots. And there's our position. There's our course. And I checked that multiple times throughout the voyage. In fact, every time I pass by this is just aft of the casino on starboard side. Oh yeah, there's my souvenir from the ship. I got a model ship. In fact, I'll show you guys right now. Check this out. So this is my souvenir from the ship. I got the ship. So nice little model of the ship. The Spirit did not have these. I really wish they would have, because it would have been cool to have, one of these of both the ships that I've sailed on. So yeah, that is my souvenir from the ship. It is a decent size. Unfortunately, it's I can't put it to scale with some of my my other models here. The Valor is obviously a much larger ship than, say, the SS United States, but you can see it's not to scale with some of the models that I've built. Any lifeboat drills? No, Ozzy, there was no lifeboat drills. When you board the ship, they tell you you got a little card that you carry around, and your card is everything. It gets you in your room. Any purchases you make on the ship go through this card, and it has your muster station on it. They tell you where to go for your muster station. Our muster station was C, and the lifeboats are on deck 4. So if there were an emergency or anything, you can see here's the lifeboats on deck 4. I believe we would have been somewhere amidship if there was an emergency. But yeah, no lifeboat drills. So anyway, moving on. Ah, yes. The next day, you're out of the muddy Mississippi and you are in beautiful open ocean with that beautiful blue water. Check out that nice, beautiful wake that the ship is making. And I could sit there and watch that for the longest time. I remember when we were coming back on the Spirit. I think the last day at sea, I think I probably spent the bulk of the entire day just sitting on deck and watching the ocean. It's one of those things that I just really enjoy doing. Oh yeah, so this is all the way at the stern. So right around, let me go bring this. I'm going to use this quite a bit actually. So right around here, the highest deck that is enclosed is what you're looking at here. So this is on the stern. And in the pizza place, which the pizza place never closes, by the way, the pizza shop and the deli are always open. They do not close. But in the morning they're serving these different little bagels, and pretty tasty. Interesting. I don't remember the Spirit having that, so that was pretty cool. So you mean you didn't jump? No, of course not. Why would I jump? And here's some deck plans. So this is where my cabin was. You can see deck 6. That's where you are coming off the elevators. This here is the scenic elevator that brings you right there all the way up to the top. And our stateroom was right here amidship. Unfortunately, no balcony like we had on the Spirit. And it turns out that I didn't miss the balcony as much as I thought I would, but I would still rather have it. I really, really enjoyed pulling into port on the Spirit each morning and just standing on the balcony and watching us dock. Titanic Rose was going to jump. Well, I'm not jumping in after Rose. Sorry. If she wants to jump, c'est la vie. We had to meet at our lifeboat on mine. They wouldn't end the drill until everyone showed up at their station. You got lost. Yeah, nope. Like I said, no lifeboat drills at all. They just we had to go to our muster station, and that was it. This is up on one of the top decks. I just thought that. No, actually, I think this is lower. This is on deck 3. Deck 3, you could go out and there's like a little promenade on starboard and port side on deck 3. And you guys are going to see a short with that on Monday. This coming Monday, be on the lookout for a short for that. So let's see. And here we are again, standing right in front of the water slide. And there we are out in open ocean. Spent the majority of the time staring at water on mine. I couldn't. But as you can see, this is most of what the activities were. I mean, outside activities anyway. I don't ever remember anyone actually being on the slide, to be honest with you. But you can see you got the main pool here, and there's 2 hot tubs forward of here. And then you've got the pool and the hot tub back on the back decks. And again, you had like the little basketball court, you had like the little miniature golf and all that stuff. Did you go down the slide? No, honestly, I really don't remember anyone being on the slide the whole trip. If they did do it, I don't know. I guess I wasn't on deck because I just don't remember that. And I guess that would be like the main radar mast. This is on again the Serenity deck, and you're looking forward on starboard side. And it's kind of hard to tell, but this is actually the bow. If you see right there, That's pretty much marking where the center of the bow right there. Was it cold? Mine was freezing till we got close to Coswell. Yes, it was very cold. More so on the way back than it was going, actually. So there was not a whole lot of activity happening outdoors until we were, getting pretty close to Mexico. So each morning after the stateroom attendants tidy up the room for you and clean it up, they do like little animal art out of towels. And there's our first one for the first morning. We had an elephant, and each day it's like a little. Usually it's not always an animal, but it's usually an animal. And there I am having lunch on one of the upper decks. Just sitting down, chilling, watching the ocean, eating a burger. And this, oh yeah, I almost forgot about this. So this is one thing that Carnival claims is that they have more active duty, or excuse me, more military veterans that sail on Carnival than any other cruise line. And um, every single cruise, they have a, you can see it on the screen here. We zoom in, military appreciation gathering. This guy, his name is Alex, and he was our cruise director. Also, that's where Chef Baker was jumping after he drank all the alcohol. Are you talking about Charles? Are you talking about Charles Joffin? Yeah, you meant the Chief Baker. Yeah, you're talking about Charles Joffin, Ozzy. I thought I saw Chef Barker. I'm like, no, he must mean Chief Baker. But yeah, this is one thing I make a point to attend, and I will always make a point to attend the military appreciation gatherings. And they acknowledge each branch of the military. If there's any veterans on the ship, they ask them to stand up and be recognized, and we give them an applause. And they have the little table set up. Essentially, for those that are no longer with us, they always set that up. It's a really nice ceremony, and I will always make it a point to attend that anytime I go on one of their cruises. Let's see. And this was not in the Ivanhoe Theater. This is in the Eagles Lounge, which is on the aft end of the ship, a few decks above the restaurant. You will see that in the ship tour video as well. Another shot of the open ocean, the wake that we are creating. And you can see right now, for the most part, we have smooth seas. Not quite as smooth as what I had on the Spirit. When we went on the Spirit, talk about on a sea of glass. That's how the cruise on the Spirit felt. And it was a little more rough on this trip. And yeah, here we are. Sunset is approaching. You guys can see the sun is starting to get low, and just some random ships out here in the middle of the Gulf. Here's one here. And then if we go to the other side of the photo, you see another one there. Looks like some cargo ships. Oh, wow. Here. I had 11 to 12-foot swells on the way to Mexico. Dang near the whole ship was seasick. Yeah, ours, at least not this part of the journey. In this part of the journey, all parts of this journey, the seas were a little more rough than on the Spirit, but you can see for the most part, it's not that bad here yet. I've got a good story coming up for you guys. Here we go. The infamous ocean at night. So this is starboard on deck 3, looking aft, and you can see what I was telling you guys about. There's a promenade deck right here. And we know it's deck 3 because you can see the lifeboats above us, which is on deck 4. You know they're doing tours on the SS United States before they sink her? I don't know anything about that, Ozzy. If that is true, I'm gonna have to make that happen. I will definitely see if I can find some information on that because I have not heard anything about that. But yeah, here we are, guys. The open ocean in the middle of the night. Would you have seen the iceberg looking out into this? Look at that. You can't tell where the horizon is. You just can't. So, would binoculars have helped Bryden Phillips in this situation? I don't think so. Just me. Having seen it for myself, I think I can put that idea to bed, at least for me. Pitch darkness. I mean, the best way I can describe it, like you can see the wake that the ship is creating because that's lights from the ship. But once you look out, the best way I can describe it, go into a room in your house that has no windows at night, close all the doors, and turn out the light. That's the best way I could describe what this looks like in person. Exactly. There's a reason Carpathia put guys on the bow and not just the crow's nest. Well, yeah, because they were sailing at max speed to try and get to Titanic. They had no idea that the ship had went down. They were hoping to reach the ship before it sunk, as we all know. But it just wasn't going to happen. But when you're going top speed, well, actually, Carpathia was getting more speed than what the ship was rated for on the top speed because all the things that Rostron was doing to make that happen. So, yes, he had extra lookouts placed at the bow to make sure that they don't run into a berg as well. So, yeah, look at this. You can see I had to include the railing because otherwise the camera wouldn't focus. But you can see this is just looking straight out. You can see the wake from the ship right here or the whitewash. But look past the railing. It's just as I call it the abyss. There's nothing there. Ozzy says go to the web page. Ozzy, are you referring to the SS United States Conservancy's web page? Because if they're saying it, then I would tend to believe it. But if it's some other non-official source, if it's not the SS United States Conservancy's website or Okaloosa County's website, then don't believe it. Don't trust it. But I will look into that after the stream. So anyway, let's move on. So there's a story behind this. So this is our captain, and I do apologize. I forget his name, and honestly, it was unpronounceable for me anyway. So the second night for dinner, we had our dinner time was 5:30. Type SS United States. Ozzy, I'm going to go to the SS United States Conservancy website. If it's there, then it's legit. If it's not there, I don't trust it. But anyway, our dinner time was 5:30, and This happened the night before. We were in the restaurant for 2 hours. Um, the staff was extremely friendly, very polite, um, but the speed of service in the restaurant was just not there. So on the Spirit, our dinner time was 6 o'clock every evening. By 6:50, no later than 6:45, 6:50, all 8 nights on the Spirit, we were out of there. We were across the ship at the bow to the Faro Theater in time for the live entertainment. The first night here, it took us 2 hours. It was over an hour before we actually got our main course. Our dinner time was 5:30. At 6:40, we had still not gotten dinner, our main dish yet. And the time to meet the captain and take pictures of the with the captain was something I really wanted to do. So I got up and left because I was not missing this. This is something I really like doing on the cruises. I wanted to meet the captain. I wanted to take a photo with the captain, and I did. In fact, let's see. I got it right here. My photo with the captain. So yeah, I didn't get dinner. I made it just in time because they set him up there. You don't see it here because this is guest services behind him. On the opposite side, they've got photo backdrops set up, and that's where you meet him. You shake his hand, you take a photo with him, all that. And here he's giving like a welcome aboard speech, and he's got his officers and whatnot behind him. You can see some people standing behind him. That's who those people are. And at 7 o'clock, this is when he's doing this announcement and speech. From there, we had to go straight to the bow in order to make the live entertainment show in time, which was brilliant, by the way. Absolutely loved it. I think it was 8 o'clock, 8:15. So by the time the live show ended, so I sat down for dinner at 5:30. I didn't eat till 8:30 or so because had I stayed in the restaurant, I would have missed all the things I wanted to do, and I just wasn't willing to do that. So that the buffet was still open, so I went to the buffet after the live entertainment was over. And that was the last time I did the restaurant on this particular cruise. After the second night, that just kind of left a sore taste in my mouth, no pun intended. So I did not go back to the restaurant, which is kind of pointless anyway, because what they offer in the restaurant is the exact same food that they offer you at the buffet. So essentially, the only reason you're going to the restaurant is for the experience of eating at the restaurant, which, like I said, I did it 8 times on the Spirit, and it was way more efficient, and it was good. Been there, done that. So I just ate at the buffet the last 2 nights. And I didn't see anything on the Conservancy site, so I put feelers out to see if I can find anything. Yeah, if you, and I know you follow a lot of that stuff, so I know you will let me know if you find anything about that stuff with the SS United States. So here we are. This is probably the next morning, and you can see we have arrived at Cozumel, Mexico. My very first time ever going to Mexico, which means some of the pics from the excursion are coming up now. So here we are. We're docking right here. You can see them tying up the ship. And we were actually late getting off of our ship because the Carnival Legend, as we were getting ready to get off of our ship, the Carnival Legend pulls up earlier than expected. So they had to stop. They had to close our gangway doors, and I forget the reason why, but they had to close our gangway doors and stop letting us off the ship so the Carnival Legend could tie up. And coincidentally, the Legend is a sister ship to the Spirit. Spirit is the lead ship of the class. And here is the port at Cozumel. You see, you go down the pier here, and you walk completely through this building, and it's just a bunch of shops with overpriced stuff and people are heckling you to buy. But yep, there you see Cozumel right there. The Mexican flag is flying. And a lot of this stuff is souvenir places and stuff like that along this waterfront. But this was actually a nice little area right here. The heckling wasn't as bad in this section right here. So actually, you was able to walk around and not get annoyed too much. And this is just a different view. And you can see there's another pier over here, and it's a different ship letting off passengers right here. Oh, and let me show you guys anytime I go somewhere, I get a magnet as my souvenir. And here is my Cozumel magnet right there that I bought out there on that. Let's go back. Let's go back to about, it was a gift shop right around here, right around this yellow building right there. So there, that's where I got my customary souvenir magnet. This is the Carnival Freedom, which I can't remember. Oh, no, sorry. Carnival Paradise. Apologies. I can't remember if this ship was bigger than ours or newer than ours or not. I know our ship was newer than the Legend. I want to say that this ship is newer than the Valor. You got almost all the free charms from the shop in Cozumel. I think Miss Williams in front of bar. She went to hang out. Okay, so yeah, here's the 3 Carnival ships. Oh, good eye, Mark. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The lifeboats here are on the upper decks on the Paradise. I didn't even think about that. Of course, you can see ours were on deck 4. Our ship is the middle one, the Valor. And here's the Carnival Legend. Her decks are lower. And that ship looks very familiar to me because, again, she's a sister ship to the Spirit. And, of course, I did that 8-day on the Spirit. Paradise, Curtis D. Hart, Paradise is older. Okay. So, yep, there you have it. The 3 Carnival ships. And this is the thumbnail for the stream, by the way. I'm sure you guys noticed. And there we are. This is in that little port area. These guys were dressed up. I guess it would be like Mayan attire. And you could go and stand with them and take pictures with them, and they're doing like little different poses and stuff. This is inside the port as well. You can see a bunch of little turtles. Oh yes. So in Mexico, Diet Coke is not called Diet Coke. It is called Coca-Cola Light. Did not know. It tastes the same. Bought it, drank it. Tastes exactly the same. Okay. Ozzy, no Captain Jack Sparrow. No, Captain Jack was not there. And a lot of the shops had like these different like little skeletons or other objects. I think they're made out of bone, some type of bone. And here we are. We're on our way to our excursion. And this is an artificial cenote, but it looked really, really cool regardless. So we went through downtown Cozumel, and we had to go a few miles on the outskirts of town to get to our excursion. And this is the turn in, excuse me. This is the turn in to get to our excursion. There will be a short where you guys will get to see a little part of excuse me, of downtown Cozumel coming up. And by the way, all the content for the cruise, there is a playlist that is already up on the channel, and every single short, live stream, video, all will be on that playlist. Let me pull up the name of the playlist real quick. I think I called it Carnival Valor Cruise January 2026 or something like that. Yeah, no, Carnival Valor Cruise 2026. So all the videos that have already come out, all the live streams, everything, future content concerning this cruise will be in that playlist. So this is like walking into the main entrance right here. And we had to walk like through this a little cave in order to get out to the cenote, and it was actually pretty cool. And here's the cenote itself. You can see the nice tealish, greenish looking water right here. These are just several pictures of it. We actually go into the water. The point of it is to swim in the water. Yeah, that's not the best photo, but give you an idea of what the sides, how it looks from being in the water right here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see everybody has to have a life jacket on. The depth of the water throughout the whole thing was 6.5 feet. Everyone's required to have a life jacket. And when you start off, you essentially come, I believe, if memory serves, let's see, we came around this corner right here. Yeah, we did. We started off further back, and you're about in there about 20 minutes or so, something like that. And you can see some other folks now have inner tubes. When you get to the end, they give you an inner tube if you want it, and you go back in and you can just, paddle around on the inner tube, which I, of course, did. And I don't know if I have a picture showing it. Let's see. But there is a point, well, along the wall. So, yeah, let's go back a little bit. Along the other wall, and I don't have pictures of it, but this wall here, pretty much throughout the whole thing, there's a rope on the side. So if you're unable to paddle yourself or move, because there's no current at all, it's the water's just sitting there. You have to swim it or whatever you got to do to get yourself from the beginning to the end. There is a rope, and you can grab the rope and pull yourself, which I did for a good bit of the way. Was the water warm or cold? Ozzy asks. So Ozzy, when we first got in, it was okay. Remember the scene in Titanic when Rose is going down into the water and to help Jack, and she's got the axe, and she puts the axe up on like the grating through the doorway. She gets in that water and it hits her chest, and she's just like, oh, that's getting into the water. But after a couple of minutes, your body adjusts, and it actually felt really nice after the fact. But yeah, when you first get chest deep in it, oh yeah, it was cold, very, very cold. This is just like a little cup of fruit that they served along with I don't know, water or lemonade or something. Because after you're done, you sit there, you just kind of chill out there at the cenote for a little bit. And like I said, they give you this little cup of fruit to eat, and they put some little spices or something on it, and that was good. Enjoyed it. And after that, let's see. Yeah, we moved on to. We got back in the tour bus. We went back through Cozumel, like the city downtown or whatever it's called. I think Cozumel's the island, but the city is called something else, I believe. Um, but they essentially, after that, they took us to essentially what I'm going to call a tourist trap because it was a bunch of little shops right along the beach, and all they did and this one was really bad. I got really annoyed at this place really quick because they are heckling you like you don't know what in order for you to buy something, and they are relentless. I guess they haven't met somebody as stubborn as me though, because I didn't buy anything. But anyway, we went when we were there. They had a buffet set up for our group. We had to have like a little wristband on us to show that we were with the group, and we had a free buffet. So lunch was provided. So I actually ate Mexican food, real Mexican food in Mexico. And this was just some of the stuff that they had. There was other stuff on the buffet, but this is so I can remember that I ate real Mexican food in Mexico. Some more of like the little gift shops that were there. This is the beach that we saw, and there was snorkeling there, but uh, I'm not the greatest with swimming, so I chose not to do the snorkeling. But the beach, you can see, it's meh. Honestly, guys, there are better beaches in Mississippi than this. I was not impressed at all with the beach. I mean, other than the blue water, the beautiful blue water, you're not going to get that in Mississippi. But even the beach itself in Mississippi is even nicer than this. It was nothing but rocks and seaweed, to be honest with you. And I didn't get to eat in Mexico. All anyone wanted to do was drink the whole trip. We're going to get into that part in just a second here. Yeah, so this is another area. There was you had one of those swim up bars you can see right here. Let's see. Another pool at this tourist trap, as I'll keep calling it. Went to a little beach by a bar in Cozumel. The beach was nice, but the shallow water was all rock and coral. I got pics of all kinds of sea life. Nice. I got some sea life in the Bahamas. Any sharks? No, Ozzy, I never saw any sharks. Now remember also that cenote we were in when we were actually in the water. Again, that was an artificial one. So as far as I know, there was no marine life at all in that one. All right, here we are. We're back. Well, actually, let me go back because I want to tell this story real quick. So before we left this place, there was a tequila tasting event that we went to, and they let us try several different types of tequila, and of course, all genuine tequila made in Mexico, and they were absolutely phenomenal. Loved every one of them that we tried. So that was the last thing we did before we got back on our bus to head back to the port. Here's another picture right here with the 3 Carnival ships in port. Any whales? No, Ozzy, no whales other than the whale's tail that was on the ship. And these are 2 other ships, non-Carnival ships that were in port. That's the Norwegian Star. You can see it on the stern here. This ship is a Margaritaville, and this is a former Carnival Spirit class ship. I can tell right here by the bow. That is a former Spirit class ship. So let's see. Oh, this was the towel animal on excursion day after this, our attendant tidied up the stateroom for us. We had an elephant the day before. We had whatever this thing is. I'm still not quite sure what that thing is, but it was pretty cool. So, yeah, we're back on the ship at this point, and we are going to get ready to sail soon. Yeah, so here we are. We're underway, and you can see, and it says a Ram. Okay. And yeah, there we are. We're watching the playoffs on the big screen on deck. Denver was leading Buffalo at that point, 10-7. Mark says a goat. So a ram or a goat? I'll let you guys battle it out. And here we are. We're leaving Cozumel. Dusk is happening. And that might be I think that's the Legend. No, that's not the Legend. That was the other Carnival ship. Because the lifeboats are up on the upper deck. Yeah, we were pretty much running parallel with that ship, and we eventually kind of lost sight of them. No worries, buddy. The replay is always available. And there she is again. And here we are later in the evening. So this is on deck 5. I'm actually in the casino. The bar is in the back of the casino. And so the casino is behind me. And I am watching the Seahawks and the 49ers. I say that night I had a few adult beverages that night. So this, I believe, is sunrise the next morning. You can see it looks like there's a little shower back there. Sunday morning was extremely interesting. So Bills fans want the head coach back. I don't understand why they fired their coach. He seems to have been very successful, but that's for a different that's for a different conversation. Seahawks won. Yes, they did. And a little choppy. Yeah. Let's see. Let me show you the next picture. So here we are in another screenshot from my phone in the Gulf, middle of the Gulf, heading back to New Orleans. And that's how the weather started to get. We caught some very, very rough seas on the way back. Sunday morning was not a fun time to be on a ship, even on that ship. Now, some stats on the Valor. The Valor is 952 feet long. She is 110,000 gross tons, which is more than double Titanic. And yeah, Sunday morning, this was the ship. Sunday morning, down, up, down, up. And you felt it. Believe me, you felt it. There was one point. Yeah, there's another shot. You can see it got really rough. So there was one point where I'm like, you know what? You can't really do anything because the ship is rocking. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to the room. I'm going to lay down and maybe just take a nap until things get, conditions improve. So I go to our room. I lay down. Not 5 minutes in to me laying down, I feel what feels like the ship basically doing a nosedive, then comes back up, and then does it again. And both times I'm hearing the walls creak on the cabin. I'm like, oh, hell no. Walked my butt right back up to deck 9. Stayed right there in the middle of the ship. on various decks and wrote it out that way because the center of the ship is the most stable part of the ship. If you're at the bow or you're at the stern, you feel the ship rocking a whole lot more in those two spots than you will amidships. Yeah, look at that. Look at this. Not nice smooth seas anymore. It was rough. Way worse than anything I experienced on the Spirit. But what I did different this time, excuse me, on Spirit, we were rocking side to side, but it wasn't really that bad, just enough for me to notice it. And I did get a little seasick. I didn't puke or anything, but this time I made it a point to bring Dramamine. And when I really started feeling it, I popped the Dramamine and I was able to get through without getting like really seasick or anything. Another shot of us still in the middle of the Gulf. This is the back pool, and you can't really tell in this image, but if you watch the short that I put out, I think yesterday of the front pool, complete wave action, you know, rocking in the front pool. The same thing was going on back here. And they closed up the roof. This part of the ship, if you look right here, let me move the mouse over here. The mouse go. Okay, there it is. Right up here. This is a retractable roof, so you can open and close the roof right here. And they had it closed up, so it was actually a little warm because at this point we're getting back into the colder temperatures. So it's rainy, it's windy, it's cold. The ship is rocking. So yeah, like I said, went back down to the middle of the ship, stayed there. Even people who had done the theme cruise first couple of years were sick and never been on a ship before. Oh yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell what this picture is, but this is where the ship was. The Valor was hull number 6082 at Monfalcone Shipyard in Italy, 2004. Oh yeah, so this is in the casino. And this is another spot where I was riding out the storm. You see like a little duck right here. So one thing they do on these ships, and I don't know if they do these on other lines as well, but on the Carnival ships, and I don't understand it, but people do this. They hide little ducks all over the ship, and people go on these little searches hunting for these little ducks, and they collect them and they share them, and sometimes they'll rehide them on a different cruise. I don't quite understand it, but a lot of people find it fun. And I was staring out the window because there's a window right there where you're looking out into the ocean, and I just happened to turn my head to the right, and there's that little duck. So I found a duck. All right. Okay, so this was the final towel art that we had, and that was the Sunday morning. You just see the shape of a heart. Now, around noon or so, we got out of the storm and things started looking a whole lot better. You can see we've got some nice sunny blue skies again, but they canceled all activities on the upper deck because the winds were still just crazy and you could not do anything on the decks. In fact, you can see the sign Serenity right here. Serenity was completely closed off. Nobody was allowed up there because the winds were just way too hot. And I'm standing, let's see, I don't know if I got a picture of it or not. Yeah, so this is starboard side looking at the pool. They had to drain the pool. If you can look good, you'll see the mesh netting over the pool right here. They had to completely drain it. And at that point, this is amidships right here. I'm looking at the bow, and I'm seeing the bow go up and come down, up and down. turn around, look at the stern. The stern's coming up. It's going down. It's coming up, going down. And like I said, standing amidships was the best place to be. So if you're ever on a cruise and you're in rough seas like that, I don't know how well it works if the ship's rocking side to side, but if you're going into the storm and it's the up and down, somewhere amidships is the best place to be. And you can see the seas are not quite as bad. There's not as many white caps at this point. The little inner tube. Yep, there it is. You can see it's still a little choppy, but again, nowhere near what we experienced earlier that morning. Nice, beautiful blue sky, beautiful blue ocean. So I got to stay outside for a little while on the last day and just enjoy looking at the ocean. There's another ship out there in the middle of the Gulf. Oh, and this is what the menus look like. This was part of the last menu for dinner that evening. I did have the fried green tomatoes. They were okay. I've had better. And let's see. I forget what there was some type of apple cinnamon dessert the last evening of on the buffet. And there was no sugar in it. And it was actually amazing. The best dessert I had on the ship for the whole cruise. Emeril. Yeah, Emeril, if you don't know, is a famous chef in New Orleans. So it makes sense. A ship sailing out of New Orleans is going to have stuff on the menu from Emeril. I don't remember what it was called, Anna. It was something with apples and cinnamon. It had, I wouldn't say pudding, but like some type of Cool Whip cinnamon tasting stuff. That's what the texture was like. It was just really, really good. So this is late at night, and I'm looking out one of the windows, and you can't really see what's going on here, but you see those two lights right there. That is an oil rig in the Gulf. So once you start seeing the oil rigs, you know we're starting to get close to the mouth of the river. So anyway, I don't think I have any more like that. So yeah, this is one of the last times I was on deck at night. They played the game, but nobody was out there. Maybe 2 or 3 other people were out there watching this game on the big screen. And there it is, the next morning. Next morning, we are back at port in New Orleans. You can see the CCC, Crescent City Connection, right here. This is about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. The way that went down was they let you have breakfast before they kick you off the ship when you get back to port, provided you get to the buffet in time, which I did. It opened at 6 o'clock. Yes, I did sleep, Anna. I did go to bed eventually and woke up, set the alarm. That way I could have breakfast before we got off the ship. So, yeah, this was kind of like a final little walk around on the upper decks. I went to breakfast. Here's the New Orleans skyline at 5:45 in the morning. Here's the cruise terminal right there. And, let me get that poll going because we're approaching the end here. Let's see. Start a poll. Let's see. Next week's video. Ship tour sunset. All right. All right. So we've got a poll up. Next week's video, you want ship tour or sunset? So you guys start voting. So yeah, there it is, New Orleans skyline, 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. This was my last breakfast on the ship. Hash brown with some pancakes, some eggs Benedict, and a slice of ham. And that is the final picture throughout this little journey of pictures. Found it easiest not to toss my roommates overboard by never being in the same place as them. All right, so there it is, guys. And last picture. And let's see how the poll is going. So yeah, after that, got ready to get off the ship. Got off, came home, started photo dumping, started video dumping, and as you guys saw, the first video from the cruise already came out last night. It was a tour of the cabin. It was a little short video. So yeah, I'm gonna put a timer on the poll here. I'm gonna let it run for another minute before I shut it down. Let's see. So yeah, while that's running, real quick, what did you guys how you guys year going this year? How is 2026 going so far for you guys? Is it going good? Is it going not so good? I hope it's definitely going good. How's your week been? You know, what's going on with you guys? Let's see. And it's been a sad couple of weeks. So I'm sorry to hear that, Anna. I hope it whatever it is, I hope it gets better for you soon. Let's see. So right now, the ship tour is winning. Massive snowstorm coming Sunday. Yeah, there's supposed to be a massive storm affecting the whole country. I don't think we're going to get snow or anything like that here in Southeast Louisiana, but it's going to get pretty cold regardless. Aussie Awesome Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. Wait, aren't the championship games this coming Sunday? Or did they have them all? No, yeah. Yeah, they didn't do that. Bob Weir from Grateful Dead passed away. Yeah, I did read about that. All right, so all right, looks like it looks like the ship's tour is going to be the winner here. I've actually let it go on for 2 minutes. Well, 2 minutes from when I started the countdown, so it's probably been going on about 3-4 minutes. I think I'm going to, the funeral was so. I was not a very big Grateful Dead fan. I just remember the one video from the 80s where it was like the Skeletons performing on stage. I think the song was I Will Survive or something like that. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to end the poll here. Touch of Grey. Yeah. I know they said the words I Will Survive in the song. Okay. So, poll is over. And the ship tour is the winner. So I'm going to have to get to work on that very soon because that is actually going to be a pretty long video because I got a boatload, pun intended, bunch of content on the ship itself, recording as much of the public areas as possible. And I'd probably say I got about 98-99% of all of the public areas recorded. So I will I'll work on getting that out probably next Thursday. I mentioned this before last year. Moving forward, I'm not going to put videos on Friday mornings anymore. I want to do, and it will probably be Thursday nights at 7 o'clock Central, because they seem to perform better. And then I can interact with you guys while we're watching the video together. So I can do that, and it still keeps Friday free for the live streams. So that's going to be more than likely how the schedule is going to go from here on out. But for the next month or so, you can expect pretty much all content from the cruise. Like I said, live streams. Well, this will probably be the only live stream. I think next live stream we'll go back to more of like our historical content that we usually discuss. But as far as the videos and the shorts, it's going to be pretty much everything related to the cruise until I exhaust all of that content. All right. So, with that, that is going to wrap up this week's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me ramble about the second cruise that I've ever been on. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And as always, until the next time, you guys know the drill. Drive safely.